Hello, it's Germaine here from Bead Spider again. I've been having so much fun playing with these new 6mm faceted Czech glass beads or fire polish beads. We've got for you 3 different patterns. We've got the stripe pattern, the chevron shape, or the little diamond shape, and you can make them either with quite contrasty beads, or if you prefer, you can just keep it more subtle with similar colour beads and not quite such a pronounced design. Or if you really like, you can just make them all using one colour design. They're quite easy to make, and the best thing about them is they're on elastic, so you can just pop them on and away you go. So let's get right into it, shall we? There's not too many things you need to make this great bracelet. Firstly, and most importantly, is your elastic thread. I have 0.5 round monofilament. Now, I've got a little bit of it here, you can see. It's round, which gives it strength, and a monofilament meaning one piece. So it's quite strong. It's also, it'll fill the holes of the beads if you need to go through them many times. It's great. I prefer this over the flat type of elastic, which is usually lots of thin fibres side by side. I find that's a bit weaker and you might find it breaks. So this round monofilament, I think, is, well, it's definitely my elastic of choice. Now, you can use this elastic to thread through your beads, just, you know, without a needle. You can just pop it straight in, like so. However, if you want to make your life easier, you can invest in a pair of beading needles. These are big eye needles, and you can see the eye goes right down the center. They're a split needle, and you just literally put the end of your elastic inside, and then it just snaps shut, and I pop it down to the end, and then it's held in place beautifully, and you can thread away with it. So these are optional. Now, as it comes to the beads, I'm using 6mm fire polish round beads. You need 2 colours. If you want your design to stand out really well, make them quite contrasting colours. If you want a more muted design, then it's not such a problem. You need 50 of each colour, so that's a total of 100 beads, 50 of each colour. So let's begin. I'm going to show you how to make this lovely diamond or floral design today. And I've got needs 2 colours of beads, so I've got colour A and colour B. I've also cut my elastic. I've cut about 2 meters, and I'm just going to put a needle onto each end. As I said before, it's not essential. You can thread this without a needle. It's just a little bit of a faff, so I find it easier to use the needle. Now, I'm going to just show you the pattern, and of course we've got all of these patterns available on our website, and the link is below this video tutorial. And this one here, you can see the blue beads are A and the pink beads are B. Now, you can, if you want, just lay out your beads as you go, or you can just follow the pattern as you go along. So I'll just keep it at the side here so you can see what I'm doing, which is quite easy. So the first thing we're going to do is we need to pick up, do you see I've got 2 threads. The red side is one side of the thread and the green side is the other side of the thread. I'm going to start by picking up one A bead on one needle, and I'll bring it down to the bottom of the thread. And then on the other side, on this needle, I'm going to pick up one A bead, and on this side, one B bead. Now, to make sure they go into the middle of your thread, hold your 2 needles and keep them in your hand, and then just slide the beads down to the bottom and they will be in the middle. Now if we go on to the next little step, you can see that the green crosses this way and the yellow crosses that way, and we need to pick up a bee bead. So I will pick up a bee bead on one needle and I'll slide it down, and then I'll take my other needle, and now if you want to, you can hold the elastic down and see it makes the elastic stay onto one side of the hole and the other side of the hole is free. And then I can take my other needle and I'm going to go back in the opposite direction. Also, by holding the thread down, it means you're not going to get yourself caught. Now if I pull that through easily, and again, if I bring those two needles together, when I slide my bead down, and I'm still holding my two needles, that puts this right in the center, this little cross shape, right in the center of my thread. I will have an equal distance of thread on this side and an equal distance on this. Now you see it makes like a little a square shape, or we can call it a box. So that is going to be our first box. Now as you can see here, there's our first box. We're now going to make our second box, and this bead here in the middle, which is this one, is going to be part of both the first and the second box. This is called right angle weave stitch, and that's what we're doing. So if I get my two threads again, and if I look at my pattern, I see that again on this side I pick up a B bead, and on this side I pick up an A bead. Then what's going to happen is my thread fell out. Hold on one second. Just pop that thread straight through. I should give myself a slightly longer tail. There we go. I'll put my A bead back on there, and then you see here we're going to cross through another A bead, so I can pick it up, and it doesn't matter on which needle I pick up the crossing bead, but we've come through this way, and now my other needle will come through the other way. Now remember, I told you if you hold it down flat like that, it keeps the thread to the bottom of the hole. Your needle will slide through very easily, and you can see the holes in these beads are quite big, so you can get around away with not using your needle at all. So here we go. So now I have my two boxes. Now we're going to be using this pattern, and we're going to be making a total of 20 of these boxes. Now it's very easy, this pattern. It continues on, but if you see here, I've got a white, a pink, a white. So the next central bead is always going to go pink, then white, then pink, then white. So that alternates. And on this side, I have two pink and two white. As I continue on, I will go two pink, two white, two white, two pink. So you always know where you're at. So with that in mind, on this side, because I've got two pink, I'm going to pick up a white. But I mean, obviously it's all in a pattern anyway. On this side, because I've got two white, I'm going to pick up a pink. And then my crossover, because the last one was a white, the next one will be a pink. So now I'll just take that through one way, hold it down, and take it back through the opposite direction and cross my threads. And when I pull them up, so now I've got 1, 2, 3 boxes, and you can count these little middle ones, 1, 2, 3. So now I'll do one more little pass so that you understand the pattern. Remember, 2 pink, 2 white, 2 white, 2 pink. So that means on this side I'm going to pick up a pink. On this side I'm going to pick up a white, Don't worry though, if you've got the instructions, it's all in the written instructions. And then because I've got white, pink, the next one in the middle, of course, is a white. So I pop a white one on here and cross back through the thread and pull it up. So I'm going to continue on like this. There we go. So you can see now, 2 pink, 2 white, 2 white, 2 pink. So then the next one will be here, 2 white, 2 pink, and in between will be a pink and then a white. So I'm going to carry on like this until I've made my 20 boxes, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how to close it into a circle. Now I've made 19 boxes, so you can see, and you can count this middle number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on, and I'm at 19. And you can see here where I'm just finishing, I've got 2 pink and I'm about to put my second white. Now what's going to happen is I want to join this to the other end to make it a circle. Here's one I've done earlier, and you can see it's a nice complete circle, and this on its own makes quite a nice little bracelet. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make it into this little circle first. So what you have to make sure, because I'm going to just fold this up, and this will be where the join is, and you can see on this side I've got 2 pink and 2 white, and now here I'm about to put my second pink and my second white, so you just have to make sure that it matches up that way. So here I'm going to thread on 1 white and here 1 pink, but the crossover bead is going to actually be the bead at the other end, because remember, these central beads link the 2 boxes together. So if I just bend this up, and you can see, because we know that we've got pink, white, so the next one needs to be pink. There's my middle bead, which is pink, and all I have to do is cross through. So take this way and pick up the other bead and take it in the opposite direction. There we go. And then when I pull them up, and I don't get caught, there we go. Now I have my seamless join. Now what I'm going to do now is, because obviously if you want to make this just a single bracelet like this, you can continue weaving around until you get them to one side and make a knot. I will show you how to do that when I finish the double. But what I'm going to be doing here, because as I said, this is the finished single bracelet, but if I want to make it into the wider finished pattern like this, I need to add on an extra set of beads on the side. And in order to do that, I'll just show you. Come back to our pattern, and further on around our pattern, if you look here at the top, we've joined them up, and we need to bring our threads coming out of a side bead. So if you look here, at the moment they're either side. I need them both to come out of one side bead. So, and it doesn't matter which one, but because this is coming out of a pink, I'll take it out of this pink. Now to do that, I'll take this one down through here. You must always follow your thread path. So I'll bring this one here, and that will come down here like this. You don't want to cross your thread path. You want to just always go from bead to bead. Now this one here, what I've got to do to bring it coming out of the other side of here, I will come down this way, across here, and then up here. So I'll just do that now. So that one comes down here like this. And then across. And then finally cross through here. Hold on, I've got myself caught. You know why, don't you? Because I didn't pull the threads down flat. See, I should practice what I preach. So I'll pop the threads down flat so that I make a nice easy transition through, and see that, look at the difference. I don't know why I don't do what I teach people to do. Okay, so now here we go. I've got both of them coming out of this one bead, and I'm ready to continue on my next row. And if we just go back to the pattern, you can see here they're both coming out from the next row. So I'll go down to the next step, and you'll see that I have to add on this thread, and I can do it all on one thread if I want to. I can add 2 white, or 2 of the A bead, which on this pattern is blue, and then a B bead, which is the pink. Now I'm adding 3 because I'm going to be making a box here, and of course this will be the connecting bead, and to make that connect, this opposite thread must cross through this bead here, and so that will cross through like so. And then when I pull them up, I now have on the side here 2 boxes side by side. Now we need to move up to make another box here, and how we do that is, it's quite simple. We just take the thread on this side, because this is the thread path, and we will go from here straight through this side bead and step up to get to the next box. Okay, so I'll just pull this up, and you can see now I'm in position to do my next box. There we go. Now, what's interesting is here, if you recall, we had 1 bead that goes with this box and goes with this box. On this next box, we've already got 2 beads in position. We've got our side bead here and our base bead here. So we actually only need to add 2 beads. Now, if I look back at the pattern, and the easiest way is, if you remember, see here, we go white, pink, and here we've gone white, pink. And here we've gone 2 white. The outside here will be 2 white. So my next one will match these 2 here and will be 2 pink. So we'll have a pink one here and a white one in the middle, because we've already gone white, pink, and now it'll be white. And to go opposite this, it'll be pink. So I'm going to pick up a pink bead and then a white bead. I only need 2 beads now because that creates my 4 beads. And then I will cross back over through this middle bead here, the end one. And when I pull them up, you'll see that now I have my next box in place. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And in order to step up to do my next boxes to go next to this, again, I just take my needle and I go up through the bead on the side. That will put me into position. There we go. For my next box. So I'll do one more box just to, you've got the pattern in your head. So now you can see quite easily the middle beads, white, pink, white, it's going to be pink. So we know we're going to have a pink bead there. And on the side here, we want to match this side, so we know it'll be pink. So then I'll pick up 2 pink beads, come down, cross through with this bead, just make sure you don't get caught up. It's very easily done. There we go. Pull up your 2 threads. There we go. So I've kept my pattern. I've got my lovely little diamond shape in the middle, or flower shape, and I've got all my beads going around it nicely. Pardon me. And now I just have to step up along the side, and I'm ready to do my next box and continue my pattern. So now I've got 3 double boxes. So I'm going to carry on all the way around the bracelet, just like that, and when I come back at the other end, I'll show you how to finish off. Now I've gone all the way around my bracelet, and I've just got this last little bit to finish off, and I'll just step up so that I'm ready to finish. So I've just stepped up through my last lot of beads here. Here we go. Good. Now let's just stop and have a look at it. Because this is where you don't need to add in too many beads. I'm on my last pass here, and if you look here, I've gone pink, white, pink. So I know the next middle bead is going to be white, and that's going to sit here, and then the following one will be a pink. Then I've got 2 pink here at the side and 2 pink here at the side. So that means this bead here needs to be white, and this bead here needs to be white, and that's all that's left to put in. So I'm just going to take this one away for the moment, and I'll fill in just like we have been the whole time. I'm going to do my 2 white beads first, 1 and 2, lay them down, cross over this last one. So just go back through in the last one. Here we go. Now when I cross them over, pull it up, and then again, finally, come up through the side. Now what you're going to notice here is when I pull this up, I've already got 1, 2, and 3 of my 4 beads in a box. And we know, because we just worked it out, that it's going to be a white one. So I'm going to thread the white one on here, like so. But this one here needs to either come up through here and go through here, or I can just cross over, which is easiest, cross over through this top one, like so. Pull this into place. There's my bracelet pattern finished, and I've ended up with my 2 threads here together in the middle. So while they're there together in the middle, I'm going to tie a knot. And I'm just going to do like a double knot or a surgeon's knot, whatever you want to call it. And I usually take the needles off, but I'll leave them on for the moment. So you're just going to cross the threads over like that. And then I take 1 under over, just like an ordinary overhand knot, and pull that through. And then the other side, if you see, it's on the top. I'm going to bring that up through the bottom. And you'll see I've got quite a lot of knot there. So now I can just pull everything up, pull in my knot nice and close. And then when you want to tighten it, come in close and give it a little tug like that. Don't overstretch this, you will break your elastic. So I'm going to give it a little tug, and then what I'm going to do, now you can do a second one if you want to, and you can even put a tiny drop of glue there if you like, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to now weave away, following the thread path, away from these knots. Now, the thread path here will either take me this way or that way. I'll go this way. pull it through, take it up, pull it through. Just like normal bead weaving. Bring it back down again on itself. This in itself will help to strengthen it up, and it will also take it away from your original knot. Now where's my other thread? That's here with this one. So I might do exactly the same thing with this one, and I'm just going to weave this one down and away just like I did with the other. Just following the thread path. Now what the thread path means is you can see which way the threads go. It doesn't cut across, it goes around and down. Once I've gone a bit of a way away from that main knot, I can actually do a couple of knots, just like a blanket stitch knot, where you go under the thread, pull up until you have a small loop, and then pull a knot in, and it just buries itself inside the bead, which is perfect. And I can do another one. There we go, bury itself inside the bead. And again, if you like, you can put a little drop of glue on that. You can even keep coming down and carrying on making knots. And I'll go over to this one and do the same thing. So now that I've got them away from each other, and you can go back and forth and around, and you know, the more you weave around, the better it is, the firmer your little bracelet will be. And I do the knots in the middle so that they don't show. Here we go. So I'm just weaving away the other thread, and again, I'll just show you this. You see, I'm going between two beads under the thread, pulling up until I have just a small loop, coming back underneath and pulling it tight. And then do you notice I give it a little tug? Don't pull too hard, you don't want to break your elastic. And same again, and pull tight. And as I said, you can give it a little bit of, see now look, you can see those knots have buried inside, you can't see them. So I can just come in now and just snip that close to the bead, and that's done. And the same with this. See look, you can't see any knots at all. And just give it a little pull. Done. Now there's my bracelet finished. Perfect. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Whether you make a single or a double, it's all pretty easy. It's not difficult at all. The main thing is that you have fun. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye!